Hello and welcome to another episode of a weekly Waypoint, episode 194. It's the end of the year. It's the end of 2021. We survived another one, so I'm probably going to be talking a little bit about that. But first of all, you're watching Unreal Tournament because we haven't done it in a while, and it's a map which I've already done on Unreal Tournament, on the weekly Waypoint. I mean, and I'm not sure why because I've been going through them in order of alphabetical order is the way any reasonable person would say that, but here we are. And it's the next one in the list, and it's definitely been in an episode before, so I don't know why we're doing this one twice, but I guess we're doing it twice. I think last time we had a video in this map I was talking about how much I wanted the Super Mario 3D All-Stars on Switch rumour to be true, and hey, it turned out to be true, so there we go. I've got it on the Switch. I could go and play it right now if I wanted to, but I don't really, and I haven't really played a whole lot of it, so that goes to show how much hype balloons expectation. I mean, it's good, it's a good package. I wasn't expecting to talk about it in this video if I'm being perfectly honest, but there you go. Anyway, yes, Merry Christmas and all that. Hope you had a good one. You're listening to this on the 27th. I'm recording this on Boxing Day because I'm working tomorrow and I don't want to have to sit down and record a video. I say that like it's a chore, but let's be real, if I didn't like making these, I wouldn't still be making them. I mean, we're almost at episode 200. Jesus Christ. In these videos I often talk about what video games I've been playing lately, but it's still just Final Fantasy XIV. Just constantly Final Fantasy XIV. I don't think I've touched another game apart from a couple of Halo Infinite matches over the last few weeks. I've just about reached the end of the, I want to say the first half of the Shadowbringers patch content, which kind of wraps up the Shadowbringers story. I'm into the part which is like setting up the Endwalker story, so yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. I'll probably record a big long rambling hour and a half thoughts on when I finish the Endwalker leveling and subsequently the Final Fantasy XIV online story up to that point, so look out for that video when that happens, but it'll probably still be a few weeks away. Now I don't know if you can hear it in my tone. You might be like, wow, he's a bit devoid of Christmas cheer. I'm not. I'm just a little bit concerned. And I'm going to talk about physical health because nobody ever does. Because it's a very personal thing. But I feel like if I don't talk about this, and by the way, it's not a big deal, don't worry. But I feel like if I don't talk about this, I'm contributing to this idea that, you know, like, oh, it's you don't talk about it when something's wrong with you because then, you know, people are worried and it just makes you feel kind of alone. So I want people out there who might be suffering through similar things to not feel alone. So here it is. Earlier this year I thought I felt fluctuations in my heart and I was very worried about it, so I went to the doctor and they put me on a heart monitor after many months of faffing around, by the way. And it turned out that everything was perfectly fine and I stopped feeling it anyway, so I was like, oh okay, I guess I'm fine, and I was very happy. But in the last week or so I've been having very, very regular heartburn, and I've quit drinking fizzy drinks because I was drinking a lot of fizzy drinks, and I'm pretty sure that's what was mainly the cause of it, but I still am getting it. So as soon as it's possible to phone doctors again, I'm guessing you can't on Boxing Day, I'm going to phone them up and see what's going on with that, because I'm concerned. It's something that's in the back of my head constantly. I'm worried about it, and it's probably nothing, but if I don't say anything then I'm just gonna, you know, not have spoken about it, and I'm just gonna eat myself. But yeah, throughout this year, if we're talking about 2021, that has been something in the back of my mind, is my physical health, which is not great. No, it's not great, I mean just worrying about it isn't great, but also I think that might be something to do with my mental health as well, like that level of anxiety over a very small issue could be like an issue in itself. So hey, happy times 2021 everybody, woo. I'll update you guys whenever I know what's going on as well, so don't you worry. It's probably nothing. My best guess is I probably have fucked up my body a bit by drinking so much Pepsi every week for the last few years, and it's probably going to take a little bit of time to recover, but it'll probably be fine. And I am going to give up fizzy drinks because it's actually very easy to do. I've been doing it for like the last 4 or 5 days and I've not even really missed it at all, but unfortunately my coworker bought me like a 3-litre bottle of Pepsi Max for part of my Secret Santa gift, and I was like, I guess I'll have a little bit of it because it's Christmas Day, and it immediately, like, I drank maybe 100 milliliters and I got quite bad heartburn out of it. So I think that's it for Pepsi, and that's fine because Pepsi are into NFTs, which means they're bad and we should cancel them. That might come off weird, by the way, so just to reassert my stance, NFTs suck and they're stupid and dumb and you shouldn't support them, but also cancel culture isn't real. So now, in terms of end of the year style content I want to be making, I'm afraid I'm not going to be making as much stuff as I would like to make because I'm doing more work than I normally would be doing, which is shaken out differently to how it normally is for me, so that's annoying. Like, literally over Christmas I worked more than I would over just those days if it was a weekend or whatever. Can't complain too much because there are always people who have it worse, and you know, people who work in the NHS and stuff are, you know, giving up their Christmas days and stuff to make sure people are still alive, so you know, there's always someone having it worse. But for me personally, I was a little bit grouchy about that situation. Still managed to have a good Christmas though. For instance, though, I would not normally be working on the 27th, I would not normally have been working on Christmas Eve, but I'm working both of those days. And there's some New Year's Eve shenanigans too. So I do every year a Game of the Year top 10 blog post, and I have written most of that, and I will be finishing that, so that will be going live at some point before the end of the year, or maybe just slightly after if my plans go awry. Something I really wanted to do this year was also take that and convert it into a video format and have that be a video on this channel, but realistically I'm not going to have a time, or if I make the time I'm just going to be slightly grumpy because I will have spent all of it being productive and none of it relaxing and playing video games like I would like to. So maybe in the new year I'll go back and do it, not sure, but go over to kritigri.wordpress.com to learn about what my favourite games of this year were, or my favourite games that I played this year, because they don't specifically have to have released this year for my list, because I feel like that makes it a little bit arbitrary when it comes to my personal preferences of what I've played. You may not be surprised to see what the top 3 spots are, but you may be surprised to see how particularly they shake out. Number 3 may surprise you. That's right, we're BuzzFeed now. Another thing I want to do, and still might if I get the chance, is I've been making a list this entire year of every series I've watched, whether it's on YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, whatever, and I want to kind of go through them and not necessarily rank them, but just kind of have a little retrospective of what I've watched and how it was, and you know, remembering it fondly, especially since I didn't do a thoughts on for everything. Like, I didn't do a thoughts on for Hawkeye in the end. There's probably a few other shows that I was going to do a thoughts on for and didn't, so it would be nice to just be put out a few thoughts on those things and be like, hey, that was 2021 in terms of shows watched and media absorbed into my soul. This would be a standard thoughts on video, you know, no picture, just me babbling, me talking, me having a lovely old gaff about the things, but yeah, I don't think it'd be too difficult to make, and I think it'd be pretty fun to look back on. The main issue I'd have is I kind of forgot I was making this list halfway through the year, so make sure I actually remember to put everything on it that I did watch. For instance, I don't think What If is on there, but it should be, because I watched it. And I feel like I should also talk about some of the things I didn't get around to watching this year. I still haven't seen Spider-Man, sadly, but, you know, I'll get to it eventually. Hopefully it comes out online soon. I haven't seen Shang-Chi, even though that is available. I keep forgetting about it. I keep forgetting to make time for it. I'm awful at making time to go and watch a movie. I really am, because I've been told that Shang-Chi is a really good Marvel movie, and obviously a boy really likes good Marvel movies, so I should go and watch it. But, you know, there's that I haven't watched. Haven't finished The Wheel of Time because of, I can't remember if I talked about this on last week's Weekly Waypoint, but having issues with Amazon Household. The one person who I've seen reacting to the Wheel of Time TV series didn't seem very happy with the final episode, despite being positive about the rest of the series, so I'm slightly apprehensive and nervous about that, but hopefully it turns out okay. I still haven't seen The Eternals. I still haven't seen, I feel like there's another Marvel movie I'm missing. I feel like I'm not up to date on my Marvel movies anymore. I feel like at some point something major is going to get spoiled for me, and I won't even be able to fault the person because it'll be months down the line. Though it should of course go without saying that if you intentionally spoil something, you are a massive cock and will be blocked. Didn't intend to make a cock block joke there, but I guess I just did. Doesn't really fit, does it? That's why I didn't intend to make it. Now, to spend the rest of this video looking forward to 2022 in terms of games and media, I'm excited for I guess the first thing that pops to mind is LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga. Everyone keeps saying that next year is a really amazing year for games, but like most of the games that are coming out aren't really games that are on my personal radar. Like Breath of the Wild 2, I'm still not excited about, probably because I've still never finished Breath of the Wild 1. I know it'll be a really good game, and I know Breath of the Wild 1 is a really good game and I should go and finish it, but like just because I haven't finished it and like I've kind of forgotten most of the story and everything, I'm a little bit like, I don't really care. And then you know, the other big one everyone's really excited about is Elden Ring, and I'm not a Souls-like enthusiast. I don't enjoy those games. I hope it's really good for the people who do enjoy those games, but it's not something that's going to hook me. The one thing I guess I'm really excited about isn't going to be coming out until the end of the year, and that'll probably be delayed because we know how the games industry is nowadays, which is fine. If it needs to be delayed, delay it, but you know, whatever. And that is, I'm delaying because I can't remember the name of it. The Todd Howard space RPG, the not Skyrim, the Skyrim but in outer space. The thing I wished Fallout was all these years. It's not called Starbound, Brain, please. Starfield, my god, I sat here for like 30 seconds trying to remember it. I don't know what's wrong with my brain lately. I went to tell my sister something yesterday, and I was like, oh, that reminds me. And then it immediately disappeared, and I spent like the next few hours trying to remember while everyone else was talking. Okay, maybe not hours, but like off and on, like just like it was really bugging me. But yeah, that's how the brain's going. In terms of movies, I feel like there's so much that came out this year that I still haven't seen that I want to see, that I don't even know what to be excited about for next year. I feel like I'm a season behind on the kind of grand scope of geek culture for last year, or for next year. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. These words are melding together. I could look up a list of, you know, what's coming out next year, but honestly, if there's nothing on the tip of my tongue, then there's probably nothing worth mentioning. And I say that and you're going, oh my god, but Christian, what about this and this and this and this? And yes, I know, but I still haven't seen the movies that precede them, so yeah, don't be panicking. Is the next Spider-Verse movie next year? If the next Spider-Verse movie is next year, then I'm very excited for that. I've still only seen Spider-Verse like once. No, not like once. I've still only seen it once. It's one of my favourite movies of all time, and I'm worried that if I see it again, I won't enjoy it as much as I did when I was in a movie theatre, which is a very irrational response. Also, I just don't like to dedicate time to rewatching movies no matter how good they are, unless I'm making some sort of content around them, which I guess I could do for Spider-Verse, but yeah, I don't know. Excited for the sequel. I'm notoriously bad for keeping track of when films I'm excited for are even coming out. The amount of times that someone's being like, yeah, and apparently it did quite well. I'm like, wait, it came out, and it's like a massive movie that I've been looking forward to for months. It's, you know, I'm not a big movie guy. I'm probably missing a lot of movies and video games that are coming out next year, and series actually. I haven't even thought about series, like all of the Star Wars stuff alone, my god, that's coming out next year. But, oh, I never finished Star Wars Visions, I should go back and do that. But yeah, sorry, I'm missing a lot of stuff, I know, but this isn't meant to be a comprehensive video about that kind of thing. It was just a passing mention for the weekly Waypoint. But yeah, 2022 is probably going to be a year full of fun games, fun shows to watch, fun movies to watch, and crippling anxiety about the outside world as per usual. But if I could dredge up some optimism for a minute, there's always the possibility that tomorrow could be better than today, and I mean, it's a pretty low bar to jump at this point, isn't it? But I'm going to be looking back on this video like a few years from now and like, oh my god, 2021 must have been worse than I remember. Listen to me like, oh my god, it's a low bar to jump. But I mean, honestly it is, but also I feel like I've not been very emotive this episode because it's like fairly early on in my day, and normally I record these quite late on in my day. So if I haven't had a huge amount of energy, it's not a mood thing, it's honestly like a tiredness thing. But yeah, I remember this time last year we were all like, wow, 2021 is the year it's all going to get better, and it invariably didn't. So I'm not going to be like, wow, 2022 is the year it's all going to get better. All I'll say is, you know, like I said, life can surprise you. And try not to think in absolutes. That's like my main thing that I tell people nowadays, is like, nothing is absolute, which sounds bad, but it's actually really good. Like, you know, the end of days is not upon us, as much as we may feel like it is. Anything can change, and just I almost said hang in there, but I feel like that is a cardinal sin to say those words these days. Just try allowing yourself to believe that tomorrow can be better than today, and that there were good things in today among all of the horrible bad things. So, you know, try and remember things the way they were, not just for the bad things that dominated the headline. Even if it's just little things like the fact that I've been sucked into Final Fantasy XIV for the last few weeks, and it's been really fun and interesting, and you know, it may not have any impact on the real world, but it's put me in a good mood, if nothing else. So I'm glad that game exists and a community in it. It's been nice having, you know, wholesome little interactions with people online. You know, when does that ever happen? Never. So go play Final Fantasy XIV where it does. There's a free trial, including a Realm Reborn in Heavensward. Oh dear. Thank you for watching my humble little channel this year, and I will see you next year. Oh, there's still like 15 seconds in the video. This is awkward. I started doing my outro too early. I hate it when I do that. Please don't tell anybody this happened, or they will invariably make fun of me. I'm saying invariably a lot today. Invariably. It's the word of the day. Or it was the word of yesterday when I recorded this. I've probably got a new word of the day. Who knows? 69 deaths, nice.